A just released global report portrays a grim picture for Uganda. According to the 2016 Global Corruption Index by Transparency International, the country has fallen from 139th position in 2015 to 151st position in 2016. It means that only 25 countries among its 176 surveyed are more corrupt than Uganda. The 2016 report was released by the Executive Director Transparency International Uganda, Peter Wandera, this morning.
We have dropped 12 places from what we scored last year, which is not very good news for us.
Rwanda had the best performance in the East African region and came at 5th position, followed by Tanzania in 116th position, Kenya 145, Uganda is in the 4th position, while Burundi was the worst at 159th position.
I've done a lot in putting systems and structures in place. We are even adding committees, commissions of inquiries, and all that. Whether this is making a contribution to fighting corruption or not, is something totally different.
Actually, I'm not surprised that Uganda is actually becoming more and more corrupt. So 5 years from now, it's likely that if we don't put strong measures in place, we shall actually slip into the bottom 10.
Uganda's poor performance is being attributed to voter bribery in the last year's general elections and politicians who use corruption for political gain.
That a number of countries which are having populist leaders who pronounce themselves that they are ready to fight the vice, corruption is instead increasing. Like the Chanja Kuna Mchezo, which I think geared towards fighting some of these elements of corruption. I wish they could be real.
There was a lot of voter bribery. There was a lot of money that actually exchanged hands. I think in conclusion, for me, it's the whole issue of the rhetoric. There's been a lot of rhetoric when it comes to issues of corruption. We've had the president make commitments, we had the president talk about it. But the challenge is, if we have the laws, if we have the institutions, if we have the president coming out and making commitments, then why the poor performance? I think for me that is the question that we ought to ask ourselves. And it goes back to the fact that there's hardly any political will.
But Ethics and Integrity Minister Reverend Father Simon Rokodo told NTV on phone that the report is unrealistic.
I've always not appreciated those reports because they seem not to be in touch with our development. I am truly convinced that levels of corruption in Uganda today are far lower. And we do register improvement every year.
Denmark and New Zealand come first and second as the least corrupt countries, while failed states like Somalia, South Sudan, and North Korea are the most corrupt nations. Jingo Francis, NTV.